Hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Astoundcast, episode number 49. And unfortunately, I do not have a subtitle for today's episode because this episode is just going to be a bit of a random one.
Yeah, I mean, that's not so bad, though, is it?
Yeah. Tell you what, 1 minute. That'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah. So, how's your week been?
Not too bad. I've gained free time because I don't have any more uni stuff.
Oh,
So I've
good.
just been catching up with things, really.
Fair enough.
How have you been?
Busy. Really, really, really busy. As we know, the first half of this week was spent down in Cardiff, which was pretty interesting, to be honest. It's been a long time since I've been down there, so refreshing to get out of Wrexham.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And the rest of this week has been spent recovering from that trip to Cardiff.
Ah.
I am now incredibly tired.
Oh dear, that's not so good.
Yeah. My shunt pains seem to be, well, I'm not going to say gone, but they're more erratic now.
Yeah.
Like, I might go a day without them, then they'll come back. Then I might go a couple of days without them, and yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it's been a bit of a weird one on that front this week, but yeah, so it's not been really that bad looking back. Just tiring. Um. Anyway, I think it's time to introduce this week's motorsports section, which is actually going to be phenomenally short
All right.
because it looks as if there is no IndyCar race this weekend because, well, 200 laps, those cars need a bit of a break before they go out again. And F1, of
Yeah.
course, has a weekend off. The only major news to come from F1 this week is that Sergio Perez has re-signed with Red Bull until 2024, which does put Pierre Gasly's future in F1 at a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
Because Helmut Marko said, if Pierre Gasly is not back in that second Red Bull next year, we're probably going to lose him. So, I don't know what's going to happen to Pierre Gasly next year. I hope and pray that we do not lose him in F1 because he is brilliant. He deserves a top tier car because the amount of times he's dragged that AlphaTauri way higher than it should be is insane. So I'm hoping and praying that somebody else does pick him up. I'm really hoping for that.
Let's hope.
Yeah, and there are now rumours flying around, following on from the rumours of Sebastian Vettel's retirement at the end of the season. There are now
Yeah.
rumours as to his replacement, and the hot pick seems to be Mick Schumacher,
Oh.
which is interesting to say the least. Like, it's going to take a lot for him to break his Ferrari contract. Because let's be honest, everyone knows in their heart of hearts, Mick Schumacher does want to race for Ferrari someday.
Yeah.
So it is going to take a lot for Aston Martin to come in and give him an offer big enough to make him consider breaking his Ferrari contract.
Hmm.
And it'd be interesting to see how Mick and Stroll get on as teammates, because I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that those two wouldn't gel together very well.
Why don't you think that?
I don't know, they just seem like two very, very different people, and I just can't see them them two working out. Like, in some ways, Lance Stroll is very similar. Thankfully, in some of the better ways, he's very similar in some ways to Nikita Mazepin. And we all know by the end of last season, those two absolutely hated each other. So I'm not sure Mick would want to go to that team because he would not want to put up with a teammate so similar to his first one, which I wouldn't blame him for. Plus, again, Ferrari contract would be a big factor in that. So I'm curious to see how that goes. Like, I am pretty much convinced at this point that Sebastian Vettel is probably going to retire at the end of the season. Like, I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but I'm getting the feeling that we're going to be getting a raft of announcements for next year's lineup at Silverstone. Because, of course, we have 4 of the drivers are from the UK, so they will probably get announced as to what they're doing next year at Silverstone. The Aston Martin team is based in Silverstone. Like, their factory is right by the track, so I feel that's where Sebastian Vettel's fate will be announced. And I'm thinking that's going to be a retirement. Again, I think most of those teams are probably going to announce what they're doing next year at Silverstone because most of them are not too far from Silverstone. Again, Aston Martin being the closest. Their test track is Silverstone.
Yeah.
So I feel as though we'll get a raft of announcements at Silverstone. We know for a fact, actually, that Alpine is doing that because they announced it last week that their lineup for next year will be announced at Silverstone.
Nice.
So, and I think a lot of other teams are going to follow suit in that respect. And honestly, I think most of the announcements are sadly going to be retirement announcements. Like,
yeah,
I'm seeing Sebastian Vettel. I'm honestly starting to really think that Daniel Ricciardo is going to make a move to IndyCar and replace Felix Rosenqvist. Of course, I have the very, very sad suspicion that Lewis Hamilton's going to retire at the end of the season. But I do think that Fernando Alonso may stick around for one more season. I don't know why, but he just doesn't seem like he's ready to give up yet. Like, I think Fernando is going to be around next season. Not sure for 2024, but next season, I think he's still going to be here somewhere. May not be at Alpine, but I think he could be on the grid somewhere. But as for Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, and Daniel Ricciardo, I think by Silverstone, at Silverstone, it'll be announced that those 3 won't be in F1 next season, and that's going to be weird. Because those are 3 of the drivers that I grew up with consistently. Like, those 3 have been, Lewis and Sebastian have been around since I started watching. Daniel showed up a couple of years later, but that's going to be a bit of a sad one for me because I've watched Lewis since he started.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as for Sebastian, I think now he's going to focus fully on being an environmentalist. Because he is definitely heading in that direction very quickly. So, and I think that's really come about since his move to Aston Martin. I've only noticed this sort of thing pop up since he moved from Ferrari at the end of 2020. So I think now he's proper stuck into it. So I think he's probably going to retire, and I don't even know what he could do. he may set up his own company to try and fix the environment. I'm not sure. He may work with some other companies. Like, I know Petronas are really trying to clean the environment up, so he may partner up with them. So, I'm not sure, but I think come Silverstone, the 2023 Formula One grid is going to start to take shape. But yeah, that's it for this week's motorsports section, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to talk about this weekend, but I do have some general sports stuff. Well, one thing. I bet the Welsh football team are having a bit of a panic right now. Because we're currently playing Ukraine for a spot in the World Cup.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And I know they're probably all thinking, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Because Wales are currently winning, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So they're just probably all now thinking, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I can't say I blame them, really. Like, in that situation, I'd be thinking, what do I do? Yeah, like, God help those lads right now. Because,
Yeah.
yikes. And I think there's even more pressure going to be piled on them now because this morning, Kiev was bombed for the first time in over a month.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed with the Wales football team is that when the pressure piles on, they generally don't. It doesn't end too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not envy a single one of those players right now.
No, that
Yeah.
makes two of us. No, that makes two of us. I'm not envying them in the slightest.
Nope. I'm just gonna quickly check how the game's going right now. 1 minute. No. Didn't want to do that. Stupid thing. Here we are. Yep, still 1-0. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, I do not want to be any of those lads right now. But yeah. Anyway, on to this week's entertainment section. And I've actually got quite a bit here for once. Well, starting off with what I said I was going to talk about this weekend, last weekend, we have now got the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer. As well as a release date for the Bad Batch Season 2. And
Oh.
Yeah, it's coming out on the 28th of September, so way later than Season 1. Like, Season 1 started roundabout now.
Well, that's something to consider.
Yeah, but I'm very excited from that trailer because two things. Well, there was three things that I saw, but two that have me incredibly curious.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing, well, there's a few things actually. The Bad Batch have recolored their armor. Like, gone is the red stripes from last season. We've now got blue and yellow, which looks really, really damn cool, actually. I can't lie. It does look really cool.
Yeah.
Omega has finally got armor as well, so thank God for that. And, as was leaked, she does look a little bit older.
Ooh.
I'm not going to say much older, like less than a year, but I can. There was a noticeable difference. Like, she has grown a bit.
That's good for continuity.
Yeah, she has grown. I'd say only by a few inches, but she has grown.
Inches are inches.
Yep. The other big thing was the return of Jedi Padawan Gunji, who was seen in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He was a Wookiee Jedi who we saw actually build his own lightsaber with Ahsoka, and we see that he survived Order 66.
Ooh.
And I'm very happy about that, but I'm also very worried about his Padawan classmates who are with him. I hope he isn't the only survivor, because that's going to make me very depressed. But the fact that he survived, whew, thank God. But the two monstrously big things which had me literally screaming. One, the return of Commander Cody.
Ooh.
And the fact that he is definitely gonna switch sides from the Empire. Because in a Star Wars Celebration exclusive trailer, he was heard talking to Crosshair, and he said, "Are we sure the Empire's doing the right thing?" And I
Oh.
thought,
Oh, that's an interesting thing.
okay, Cody is coming back. We have Cody. Because I'm not going to lie, I was worried for a little while that he wasn't going to turn back. I thought he was going to be Imperial to his death. I thought, please God, no. But then I remembered Dave Filoni's in charge, and there was no way in hell he'd let that happen. So it looks as if Cody is going to be betraying the Empire, coming back to, I'm sorry, but the Grand Army of the Republic is going to reform and rebel against the Empire. I'm calling that now. May not be in season 2, but it will happen before the show ends. And one humongous piece of evidence to support this was in the public trailer that was released. There was a scene of the Bad Batch being hunted down by Imperial V-Wings, which were being attacked by Imperial LA-80s defending the Havoc Marauder.
Nice.
What was going on there? Like, the Havoc Marauder was being defended by Imperial LA-80s while also being attacked by Imperial V-Wings. Huh? Like, I think that could even be the start of it right there. That could be like one of the first big... Because I'm not going to lie, the people flying the V-Wings could be stormtroopers. And the people flying the LA-80s could be clones. So, I'm not going to lie, that could actually be the start of it. Because I did notice, at first I thought, actually, the Bad Batch were being chased from both sides. But then I saw the LA-80s shooting at the V-Wings. They even managed to take a couple of them down, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. And honestly, that does make me think, are the LA-80s being piloted by clones? Because the V-Wings didn't take down a single LA-80, which is pretty damn typical of the Stormtroopers. And the LA-80s being perfect would be very typical of clone pilots. So I think I've got that one right. Like, I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
So, like, and it would make sense because the LA-80s were defending the Bad Batch and the V-Wings were attacking, so I think I'm pretty confident that I've got that one right. But another pretty big thing was that we saw Omega in a building watching a recording of Tapoka City being destroyed. Thank you for doing that to us again. But then we see Palpatine.
Oh.
Which means Omega is in the Senate and encounters the Emperor.
That.
Uh-oh.
Oof.
First of all, what is the Bad Batch doing on Coruscant? Are they insane? Well,
Are you sure
my
that's the
answer...
first question?
Huh?
Are you sure that's the first question and not what is there to offer?
Well,
There first.
Well, a friend of mine and myself have come up with a theory as to why they are there, and it does relate to the Clone Rebellion. Personally, I'm thinking the Clone Rebellion are preparing to take back Coruscant, which we know will not work. But what I think's happening is that the Bad Batch, being a commando squad, have been sent to do a bit of reconnaissance on the planet.
Oh.
Like, I think they've been sent to do reconnaissance, and I think, as well, very much a fan service theory here, but I think it could be done. I personally think that the clone Delta Squad commandos, as seen in Star Wars Republic Commando, will join them on this mission. Because they were the first commandos we were introduced to in Star Wars canon. And I think it'd just be like a bit of a passing of the baton from the Delta Squad to the Bad Batch. So, I think that's what'll happen in that mission, but as for what's going to happen to Omega, I don't know, because in that scene when she encounters Palpatine, she is on her own.
Oh.
Which has me immensely worried. I have a horrible feeling that there's potential that Omega could die. And if she does, God help Palpatine, because Wrecker will go ballistic. Obviously, I know, thanks to canon, that Wrecker won't be able to kill Palpatine, but my God, will he get close. I hope I hope Omega doesn't die, because she's, of course, a massive part of the Bad Batch. But if she does, that is going to send Wrecker into a blind rage. He is going to be infuriated.
That doesn't sound too good, to be honest.
No, but that's the only way I can see that going, because in that scene, Omega is on her own.
Yeah.
But something I did notice this during the trailer when Commander Cody first showed up. Now, I don't know if this would be counted as pathetic fallacy, although I can't imagine it would, really. But Cody's armor is now white and grey because it's Imperial, and, no clones can have colour on their armor anymore. But I did notice that the lights in the place where we first see Cody was orange, and the coloured parts of Cody's armor were orange, so would that be a bit of foreshadowing, maybe?
Potentially, you don't know.
I can tell Cody's coming back because of that line. Are we sure the Empire's doing the right thing? So I'm wondering, were those orange lights a bit of a foreshadowing that, yes, Cody is coming back? Because I could see it from certain points in the trailer that, yes, all the orange parts of Cody's armor are now grey. But seeing those lights that were the exact same shade of orange as his old 212th Attack Battalion armor, had me thinking, that's strange.
seen it, yeah.
Yeah, so I do think we are very much eschewing for a Cody return to the right side of galactic history. And that could get very emotional because Rex has been seen in the trailer. Rex is there. And as we know from the Clone Wars, Rex and Cody were like best friends. In fact, they were even closer to each other than they were to their Jedi generals, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. Well, they were literally brothers, but they were like the closest knit two clones I've ever seen. So if Cody does come back, that is going to be very emotional. But I just can't wait for the second season because the first season was done absolutely phenomenally. I basically couldn't fault it at all, except why did you destroy Camino? Why did you do this to me?
But the plot.
I know, but like, why? But with what they're doing in season 2, with Cody coming back, because I don't think Cody will turn immediately. I think it's gonna be a bit of a slow burn. We can obviously, from that one line, I can pretty much infer that that's going to happen because at one point in the trailer, he was seen nodding and smiling at somebody, and I am convinced that's one of the Bad Batch. Like, probably Hunter, because actually, Cody does know the Bad Batch from the Clone Wars. Because he was actually present at the Battle of Anaxis at the beginning of Season 7, when the Bad Batch were introduced. So he does know them.
Ooh.
Yeah, he has met them before. Granted, only once, but he has. And actually, he probably has a slightly closer relationship to Wrecker, as on the way to retrieve Echo, an LA-80 actually crashed on Cody. And Wrecker, being the absolute powerhouse that he is, lifted it off him.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting as well, seeing how he reacts to the Bad Batch now, after, of course, the Empire has come around. Like, I'm very curious to see how that specifically goes down. But of course, again, I do want to see his turn back to the light. And that has occurred to me as well. That could potentially lead to the whole 212th rebelling, which could be the clones defending the Bad Batch in the LA-80s. Huh. Just thought of that right now. That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Because, of course, Cody is probably still with the 212th. And those boys are loyal to him more than anyone. Even probably Palpatine, because I think over time, the chips are going to start wearing off, as we saw in episode 2 of Kenobi. That homeless clone trooper was not affected by his chip at all. Because if he was, I'm sorry, he'd have shot Kenobi on sight. Or tried to kill him in some way. So he was in no way affected by that chip. So I think it's going to happen over time. And by the looks of it, not that much time. So I think this season we could very much see the start of the Clone Rebellion. Maybe not the full thing straight away, but we could very much see a very big start to it. Because if the 212th end up going, I'm more or less guaranteeing that other legions are going to follow. Because those guys were literally under the leadership of Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the most famous Jedi generals in the Grand Army of the Republic. Second only to Anakin. So that's what I think is going to happen there. But that's it for the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, because that's literally everything there is to discuss, because there was a lot. There wasn't. It was more like there was just a few really big things, because of course I don't want to reveal too much. Which does make a lot of sense, because we're still about 3 months out from this season's premiere. Like, I just can't wait for this thing. But I have got some video game news this week as well.
Oh.
And honestly, a lot more than I was expecting. Well, as we know, earlier this week, June rolled around, so that means the new PlayStation Plus has launched. Unfortunately, I've been so busy, so I haven't actually had time to check it out yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But by next stream, I will have probably had at least some time. And I'll let you guys know what's really different and how many old games have been brought into it. Because apparently, there's a lot already. There is a lot. So, I'll let you guys know how that goes next week. But we have had some pretty big announcements in regards to the Spider-Man games.
Oh.
Namely, that Marvel's Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, after being said that they were never going to release on PC, are now releasing on PC.
Yay.
So now they are no longer PlayStation exclusives, and honestly, thank God. Which could potentially lead to the Avengers game adding Spider-Man to PC.
That would be interesting to start playing.
As you can tell, I have just thought of that as well. Like, that could be possible now. Because the only reason that Spider-Man wasn't exclusive to PlayStation in Avengers was because his solo games were PlayStation exclusive. So now that may change. I hope so, because I like Spider-Man's story. There isn't much to it, but it is good. In Avengers, like they tried to limit it, of course, because they didn't want non-PlayStation players missing out on a massive chunk of story. So they kept it really isolated, which I thought, okay, that makes sense. But now, that's interesting. But yeah, so Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man are now releasing on PC. Will Spider-Man 2 release on PC? Probably. I can't lie. I think there is now a good chance that's going to happen.
Better keep an eye on it then.
Yeah, I will be. And we have also had this week another Star Wars announcement that Taika Waititi's film will be the next Star Wars film.
Woo!
Whatever that may end up being, that's what will happen. Like, whatever it may be, that's what Star Wars film is going to be coming out next.
Pretty interesting to hear.
And, actually, another thing Star Wars related, Star Wars Acolyte has had some minor details revealed about it.
Alright.
Namely, that a lot of old expanded universe canon is going to be re-canonized in this show.
Ooh.
Which is very much leaning towards, this is going to be Old Republic era. Be it Knights of the Old Republic or the Old Republic. Because, of course, those game series take place 3,000 years apart.
Yeah.
So, either way, we're going to get some recanonization of probably the Old Republic game, and the Knights of the Old Republic games, which would make sense as the Knights of the Old Republic is being remade, as we know. And I did think that to be a bit random, because I was like, okay, it's not canon, so why? But that would explain why it's being remade, because apparently it could very much be canon again. And I am very ready for that, because while I have never completed the game, what I have played of it is absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, we actually haven't had the release date for Star Wars Acolytes or the remake of Knights of the Old Republic. Because by the looks of it, they're far away. They're quite a way off. I'm going to guess probably 2025, roughly. Could be 26, but I think 25 is probably going to be that target. But honestly, it's going to be a good couple of years to be a Star Wars fan now. I think we're now entering a new golden age for Star Wars. Because, of course, the 2010s, the only Star Wars video games were able to be made by EA. But from next year, it'll be literally a free-for-all. If you want to make a Star Wars game, because, like, the EA contract is ending next year, and the EA exclusivity contract is ending next year. Yes, EA can still make Star Wars games, but they don't. But they now no longer have exclusive rights.
That's going to be an interesting sight.
Yeah, because that's how the Ubisoft game has been able to be made. So I think that's going to give us a lot more games, and honestly, a lot better games. Because EA had a very, very patchy time with their Star Wars games. I'm going to be honest. Battlefront 1 was very underwhelming because it was original trilogy only, which, cool. Battlefront 2, of course, got off to a very rocky start with the whole microtransactions controversy. They corrected it at the end. Thank God. I'd say the only solid game they had from the get-go was probably Jedi Fallen Order. Like, that's the only game that they got fully right from the start. Oh, and Star Wars Squadrons, but if I'm honest, that one had a bit of a rough start too, because I remember playing it the day on Christmas Day, a few weeks after it came out, and the AI were a nightmare. It's as if they were all flying drunk. I can't even exaggerate that. It's as if they were flying drunk.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that has obviously improved because I was able to finish the game. But yeah, that first time I played it, I was very close to not playing it again because I thought, oh my god, they're useless. Like, they were literally just floating around the map. They weren't even really flying. It was just... See, I'd say the only game they had right from the get-go, really, was Jedi Fallen Order. But of course, that was too little too late for them to get that contract re-signed. But, so yeah, from next year, Star Wars games are going to be a free-for-all. Whoever wants to make one pretty much can. Unless you know it's just not good, then no. But, yeah, we're now entering, I think, a new golden age for Star Wars. But, of course, from this week, I'm going to be doubling up on predictions and overviews. Because now, Miss Marvel is starting.
Ooh.
Granted, only for 3 weeks. Because there is only 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi left, which is really, really, really weird to say. Like, how has this happened already? Like, it's only been out just over a week, and we're already halfway done. With
That's gonna be weird.
yeah, but I should say we're only halfway done with season 1 because a few days ago it was officially announced that season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi has had the green light.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Seeing as this show was only meant to be 1 season, the reason for it getting the green light was because of how unprecedented the views have been on those first 3 episodes. So it's now been greenlit for a completely unplanned second season, by the way.
Yeah.
So thank God for that, because even halfway through this first season, I don't want it to end. Like, no, this can't be it. No. Like, we need to see more of absolutely, completely brutal Darth Vader. Like, oh my God, wow. Like, Wednesday's episode, I was genuinely terrified. I thought, okay, he is insane. This is the Vader we've heard about but have never seen. We have now. See, I just want to see more. I just want to see more Vader. Like, because we are now seeing what Vader has always supposedly been. Like, we've heard that he's been an absolute psychopath, but up till now it's just been hearsay. Like, yeah, cool. Are you gonna show us? No? Okay. But now, they're showing us. So, very happy to hear that it's been greenlit for season 2. But yeah, I'll be honest, I don't have much else to talk about today. Anything else you have?
There was a Pokemon trailer that was released this week.
Woo! What do we got?
So we've got 3 new Pokemon that have been confirmed as like new.
Okay.
So the Pikachu clone for this generation is called Palmy.
Okay.
It looks quite cute. There's a Pokemon that looks like it's from Plants vs Zombies called Smoliv.
Oh my God.
It's so cute. And then my favourite one so far is a pig that's literally called Lechonk.
Yes.
And it looks so cute. It's just the
I love
fact that
it.
you'll say Lechonk.
I love it.
Other weird Pokemon that have been confirmed for this thanks to the trailer have been Venonat and Venomoth, which I think quite cool.
Oh wow. Okay.
The full Mareep line, so you can get an Ampharos in this one.
Oh.
Hoppip and Skiploon. Hoppip, Skiploon, and Jumpluff is also one I didn't think I would be seeing again in this
Okay.
generation. Sunkern and Sunflora, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Survivor, I didn't think was going to be in this generation, but apparently it's been confirmed.
Hmm.
So Cryogonal's quite cool. The Flabebe line, so Flabebe, Floette, and Florges.
Mm-hmm.
Clawcher and Clawtzer, which I haven't seen since their original release, unless I've probably missed out on them, because they were first released in like X and Y, so
Oof.
generations.
Well, that's a while ago.
Yeah. Marini and Toxapex, which is quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
Flamantis Lunantis as well, which is quite cool. And the Bounsweet line. So Bounsweet, Steenie, and Serena.
Yeah.
I didn't. A couple from like the newer generations too are going to be in this one. So
Oh,
currently confirmed is the Tootle line, which is Tootle and Dreadnought.
okay.
Fun fact: in my original playthrough of Pokemon Sword and Shield, I named my Tootle Backer. Uh, the Roly Coly line is in there too, so Roly Coly, Carkol, and Colossal, and
Okay.
also Stonjourner.
Oh.
And the legendaries have been confirmed for this region. So
Mhm.
for Pokemon Scarlet, we've got Koraidon, and for Pokemon Violet, we have Miraidon.
Oh.
We don't know their types yet,
Ah, fair enough.
but we do have the types for the first three that were released as like new.
Oh,
So Smoliv is a grass normal,
yeah.
Lechonk is a normal, and Pawmi is an electric type.
Okay.
So yeah.
Also Pokemon related. When you get back home, I need to take you to Gecko's.
Yes, please, I need to go.
The whole right side of the shop is Pokemon.
My Wallace is not going to be happy with me.
Nope. Like, there's some on the left as well, but the entire right side of the shop is Pokemon.
Yeah, to all those, Cameron is an enabler. I am very big on Pokemon and I will
Yeah.
collect as much as I can. I am
Yep.
far too close to getting on a train, hopping to London, and going to the Pokemon Center there.
um, but in this shop, there's also Minecraft stuff,
Oh god.
Roblox,
Okay, a little. I don't have to bother with Roblox.
Zelda, Mario,
Yep.
all the anime in the universe,
To one little shop.
Among Us.
Always Among Us.
But yeah, like the entire right side of the shop is all Pokemon.
Wow.
Yep. Like I could not believe it was literally a wall of Pokemon stuff. I thought, okay, that's a lot.
In case anybody listening doesn't know what Geckos is for us,
Oh yeah.
it's our local geek shop basically.
Yeah. Like you got a pretty good description from that alone. Like Minecraft, Roblox, Pokemon for days,
It's our
Zelda,
local
Mario.
it's our local geek shops that's not HMV because we don't have a HMV.
No, not anymore.
The closest one I think is Chester, I believe.
Yeah, it is. Well, I don't know if it's the closest, but there is one in Chester, so
Yeah, I'm not sure where else would there would be one that's quite close.
Broughton maybe?
No, they don't have one.
Ah, in that case, it is most likely Chester.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I don't really have anything else to talk about this weekend.
Neither do
Do
I.
you? Shall we wrap this one up then?
Sure.
Right. So that's gonna do it for this week's episode of the Astoundcast, guys. Um, please don't forget to follow me on here on Stereo if this is where you're watching, or if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Astounding Cameron. That'll be just below the video title. And if you're on Stereo, don't forget to follow Roxanne here at Roxaruni. And don't forget to subscribe to her YouTube channel, at me and Et, as well as Frost's Instagram and his website. And please check out Roxanne's website as well as my link tree, which will be in the description of the video. And that's going to do it for this week's stream. Unless.
A random Pokemon fact before you go, which is for the Pokemon Spinder, there are scientifically proven to be over 4 billion variants for their patterns. So
Oof.
even if you tried to collect them all, you could never physically get all of the potential pattern types of a Spinder.
Yeah. Yikes. And with that absolutely insane fact, I will see you all tomorrow with another YouTube video, and next week with another stream. Goodbye.
Bye.